championship. That man, Dante Casanova, is the second person to hold that belt. He defeated Pretty Boy Smooth in a hell of a house battle. He defeated Anthony Green in his first title defense, and now Brandon Barretta, strictly business. Look at these two. Talk about business. This is a big fight feel right here. When this bell rings, these two dogs are going to hunt.
The focus in the eyes right now of Brandon Barretta. He wants that belt worse than he's ever won in anything.
And these are two men going at it, Brandon. How about this wrestling to start? The drive, the takedown, the go behind. Now switching over to Dante Casanova. These are two top-notch amateur wrestlers right now, just trying to show their skills on each other and dominate on the mat.
Barretta's he uses that waistlock to great success. Dante's not having anything of it. Now back to a standing side headlock.
And look how quickly Casanova got it back to the vertical base. He didn't want to play around on the mat with strictly business. Brandon Barretta may be one of the best technical wrestlers I've seen in the past decade or two come around in independent professional wrestling. Right there, grabs a waistlock takeover and just takes down Dante Casanova.
This is in midair. I was there when Barretta first got on the radar of the NWA. And in the time since, he has been so impressive, gotten his body in shape and focused on winning and everything else.
Look at the mat wrestling there, a roll through and another roll through, back to the feet. Now a fireman's carry by Barretta. These two going back and forth. This is top-notch professional wrestling at its finest right here at the Tree Lawn for Exodus. The boys are back in town.
Casanova doing a nice job going hold for hold with Brandon Barretta, but Barretta's got that lower center of gravity. I think that's going to make all the difference if these two are going to turn to grappling.
And it may. You have a very good point there. That low center of gravity really does help out Dante Casanova with the length and power, though. This is going to be one heck of a fight right here.
That was an interesting sequence there because Barretta tried to go tit for tat and kip up, but Dante wasn't having anything of it. Put him right back to the ground with the side headlock.
Well, I think Dante knew very well that if Barretta got back to his feet, he was going to be challenged. So he decided to put a stop to that, grab a hold, reset himself.
This is the feeling out process, as aggressive as it is. I'm really interested to see, once these guys graduate past this and things get a little aggressive and chippy, how this thing breaks down. If Dante can get it a little more fast moving, he's probably got the advantage. If Brandon Barretta keeps it at this pace, Dante may be playing from behind the whole way.
Yeah, he's an offensive player. He's not a defensive player. This is exactly Barretta's game. Look at him twisting the fingers apart while hyperextending the elbow.
Joint manipulation, a specialty of Brandon Barretta, as we see. Grabbing the headlock again, continuing to hold the center of the ring, is Brandon Barretta.
Just overpowering him there.
Barretta. He doesn't
Barretta's
just
talking a little trash, too.
He doesn't just hit the ropes. He talks some trash. Trying to duck and hit the gator roll as he went over there, a modified version. Barretta able to hold on to Dante Casanova.
Incredible momentum, took him right over. Now he's got to hold that waist lock.
That elbow rocked him.
And the humidity in this building is something, fellas. These guys probably going to have a hard time keeping a hold of each other as this match continues.
Ooh! He touched him that time, didn't he?
They heard that one in downtown Cleveland.
Who broke the seal on the chops tonight? That would be Barretta, but now Casanova returning fire. Listen to this crowd, guys. They're hanging on this match, and we are only a couple of minutes in.
Casanova takes the hard buckle and a vicious neck breaker from Brandon Barretta.
Technically perfect. Barretta able to grab the neck, really get the slow grind, and then the snap on the top part of the neck breaker. Casanova needs to get to some higher ground here. It looks like he may have really done some damage to that neck.
I love what Barretta's doing here. He's letting this match come to him. Go ahead, take all your time outside. I'll be waiting right here in the ring when you come back.
I don't think I've ever seen Barretta talk this much. He's really engaged here. He wants Dante in the ring. He wants to finish this and be the third ever champion.
Well, Barretta just did it now, but to that point of strictly business, Barretta was not even going out of the ring, knowing that this match has to happen in the ring, but he got impatient there, did Barretta, and he went outside and chased down Casanova.
Well, again, impatient, aggressive. This man wants that championship belt. He knows he's got to go right through Dante Casanova to get it.
Barretta.
If you wondered what would happen if they got chippy, we don't have to wonder anymore. These guys are going at it now.
And I think this plays right into Casanova, although there, Barretta gets out of the way, but I think it does play into Casanova's favor the more this thing picks up the intensity. Maybe not. Brandon Barretta's pretty intense right now also.
Just clubbing him in the chest 10 times, a fist right across the chest, forearm across.
Well, they were going hold for hold. Now they're going blow for blow, and we see Brandon Barretta get the better of that exchange.
It's been a heck of a night here at the Tree Lawn in Cleveland, and this is the main event. We've waited all night for this. Dante Casanova defending the NWA Midwest Heavyweight Championship against Strictly Business Brandon Barretta.
Back on the apron.
Casanova using the apron, which, as we know, is the hardest part of the ring.
When Brandon Barretta is feeling that one right now. Here comes Casanova.
Hits the drive-by drop kick this time. Casanova missed it a few minutes ago. That's one of his signature offensive attacks.
Brandon Barretta still stunned after that apron, let alone the shot to the head. Gets back into the ring to compose himself.
He's going to try and create some space here. He's rocked.
Indeed, Barretta trying to create that space, but Casanova doesn't want to let him. Comes in and just clubs a clothesline. But look at that. Barretta, glancing blow, stays on his feet.
With the shoulder here, what does he want?
Barretta slides off, pushes Casanova, however, eating a back elbow. Brandon Barretta
is on Dream Street.
Gets him down with that clothesline now. This is the most trouble I've seen Barretta in since he's been at NWA.
And look at Dante Casanova sticking to the plan. He hit the clothesline, he couldn't get the drop kick, he hit the body slam. He hits it the second time, and then he hits his move there. Sticking to the game plan, not allowing himself to be taken off course. That's what got Dante Casanova the title. He was the odds-on favorite to win the inaugural tournament to win the title. Suffered that injury that kept him out of the finals. Pretty Boy Smooth took advantage, became the champion. What did Dante Casanova do? Buckled down and got his sights set on the title and finished the job and got himself the Midwest Championship. Now he's going to finish the job tonight. This could be it right here. Going for that clothesline to the back of the head. Dante Casanova rolled up from behind, able to roll through. Barretta tried to stay on with a wrestling hold and right back to the headlock. And we are back where we started. These two, even Steven, in this match.
Got to say, it was very nearly over there. Dante Casanova was going for the kill shot. Brandon Barretta, very, very well scouted on that move. Got out of the way of it. Now he's back on top.
Barretta's got those tree trunk-like legs. Locked in with Dante Casanova, trying to squeeze the head, cut off the hair.
Casanova turns around, lands on his back now. Look at that bridge. Beautiful out of strength. Water. They come back around. Barretta goes for the backslide. Casanova's going for it, doesn't have the right hook. It's Barretta that's got the overhook.
He's got the lower center of gravity, what he used to.
Casanova floats over, knee lift. Hey, well, that right there, did you guys see that camera? I don't know if you can go back. That is the Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin. I know him very well. You know him, Brandon.
I'm actually scheduled to wrestle
toughest, hybrid fighters out of Pittsburgh. What's he doing here?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what he's doing here. 1 week from today, that man, Victor Benjamin, is challenging Dante Casanova for the Midwest Championship. That is, if it is still in the possession of Dante Casanova after this meeting with Brandon Barretta.
And it just goes to show you the schedule that the NWA Midwest champion faces. When Pretty Boy Smooth was the champion, he defended the title a dozen or so times across a handful of states. He passes that belt in defeat to Dante Casanova. Dante has also defended that title multiple times across multiple states. Next week, here's Victor Benjamin. Meanwhile, Dante Casanova's future is in his face, but his present is stomping him in the corner in the form of Brandon Barretta.
Well,
Barretta
look,
just vicious.
Dante Casanova has taken on a lot of really talented folks, but he's never come up against anybody quite like Victor Benjamin. With Victor Benjamin's background in multiple disciplines, his ability in the ring, his aggression, I think that if Dante Casanova is still in possession of that belt next week, he could be in some very, very serious trouble at the hands of Victor Benjamin.
And I don't want to get away from this match too much, but not just you're talking about next week, and I want to know how you know that, by the way. Are you friends with Victor Benjamin? But besides the point, what is that vote for Exodus? Is he another one throwing his hat in the ring here in Exodus?
Exploder.
Oh! Brandon Barretta with the exploder. We can talk about Victor Benjamin later. He's here tonight to watch this match just like us.
At the end of the match here is what's going to determine who's facing who. Brandon Barretta wants it to be him defending that title next week for sure. And he is really wearing down the champion. Showing what strictly business is all about. Another snap suplex. Again, he pops those hips. Reminiscent of my old mentor, Taz.
And he really is. He's got that, does Barretta, that body shape, the classic amateur wrestler, short, squatty frame with the big thighs and just the hips that can throw a guy for a mile.
I really like Brandon Barretta in this match. I mean, you can see every time the camera shows his face, shows his eyes, you can see the intense focus. You can see the desire in that man's eyes.
Here's the thing, though. I've noticed Dante Casanova is different from the standard big, jacked up, athletic champion type. This man, I've watched him suffer some beatings. He has a knack for taking punishment and coming back and taking punishment and coming back. He's not just as he fought right here, he's not just a dominate the match guy. Dante Casanova's got some get back in him, man.
You gotta give it up to Casanova. He's got a lot of heart. But when you're hurting bad like you already are and you're in the ring with a predator like Brandon Barretta, you could be in some very serious trouble.
Textbook German suplex. Wow, Casanova barely kicked out of that.
Barely got out of that. Dropped on the back of his head again. Barretta clearly followed a game plan as well. Suplex after suplex. He might not just win the title. He might put Dante Casanova out for good at this point.
We do know Dante Casanova is susceptible to injury. It's one of the few things that's held him down thus far in his young career now. Blocks the suplex, blocks the suplex. Casanova floats over. Does he return the favor? He does with the German suplex. Last month, if you remember, when Brandon Barretta oh, here it is, look at this. Stalling German. Last month, Brandon Barretta shot out the challenge to Dante Casanova with a giant German suplex to the champion. Now, the champion returns the favor and both men on their knees. Who's going to get to their feet and win this match for the NWA Midwest Championship, guys?
Both men struggling right now, but you can see the desire in both of them. But here comes Casanova.
That's a double sled. Here he comes again. Casanova putting some heavy blows down now, trying to add some damage.
3 times now taking him out with that same maneuver. He's getting fired up.
Casanova throwing them hands like the Damocles of Thor, and now Barretta gets to his feet. Casanova senses perhaps victory here. Big scoop. Ooh, picks up Barretta. A sack of potatoes.
Drops him right in his chest and face.
Brandon Barretta digging down deep to kick out of that one.
I'll give it to you, Marcus, indeed. Digging down deep. Brandon Barretta, he's not in this match on accident either. 2 of the top athletes you're ever going to see fighting for the top belt that we've got here at Exodus Pro. And both men in the middle, just where we started. Even Steven all over again. Casanova is definitely favoring that neck a bit still. Here we go. Going for his finish. Well scouted. Barretta knew what was up. Goes right back to the bread and butter German suplex.
You said it. Again, the second time, beautifully scouted by Barretta. Now he's wearing him back down, wearing that neck back down with these Germans.
And Brandon can attest just as well as I can. Those are bad enough by themselves, but when they're put in sequence, the battery that it does to your neck, as well as the concussion possibility, very dangerous to take a series of suplexes like this.
Gets out though.
Oh, the face palm.
Just slamming the back of his head off the mat.
I've seen Dante with much more power with this. You can tell the toll these suplexes and another have taken on El Jaguar.
Yes, sending shockwaves through the body of El Jaguar. Look at Brandon Barretta. Let's see this replay.
And that suplex is 100% the result of that palm slam.
Dante not going down without a fight, though.
Sure does it, Brandon. Marcus, Dante Casanova giving it all he's got here. As is Brandon Barretta. And look at the crowd. Listen to the crowd. Feel them. They know it. A hell of a main event here, wrapping things up at the Boys Are Back in Town.
And look at Barretta, like a machine, continually getting back to his feet. He's suffered a lot of punishment in this match against the champion, but look at him continue to fight.
You can feel the heaviness, the gravitas in this match. The results are so important. Wins and losses matter at this level in Exodus Pro, and these two are the perfect example. Up and over. Casanova on his feet now, fighting for survival. Moves out of the way, knee lift.
Face.
You see his eyes go up in his head, did Brandon Barretta. This may be the opening that Dante needs. No!
Snap power slam on the apron, Casanova all the way to the floor.
Have you ever, Brandon, have you ever seen that before? Wow.
That's incredible.
Let's look at that replay. Watch this. Oh, my.
Absolutely punishing. Look at Casanova. The count is on. Casanova is not moving.
That's no. Barretta realizes he needs to get him back in the ring.
Yep. The title's his. He can get him in right now.
You guys might as well clip and replay that for a while, because that slam's going to affect Dante Casanova months and years from now. Let me just tell you. Meanwhile, Brandon Barretta, he feels it.
Look at him. Had the opportunity to put him back in the ring, but he said, no, I want to inflict even more punishment here on the outside.
And I get it. I've been there. I've done that myself. But you sometimes bite your own self in the rear end, because I feel like Dante was ready and ripe for the pickings there. And here's Brandon Barretta continuing the fight. What do you think, Brandon?
Well, I think Barretta has gotten out of his game plan tonight. He's gotten emotional. And now he's arguing with me. But Jesus! Oh, my God.
You heard the head connect with the floor that time.
Nate Pierce might want to think about stopping this. I never encourage referee endings, but man, Dante Casanova may be in serious trouble here, guys.
The sound of the back of his head smacking off that floor.
Hey, look, just playing devil's advocate, you don't want to stop this match for that referee. Brandon Barretta has earned this opportunity. If he can get him back in the ring, he deserves this pinfall.
He's got to focus, though.
Barretta looks at that title that he wants to call his, but he doesn't want to look at it. He wants to put it around his waist.
I wonder about his game plan right now, because Barretta hit the floor hard as well.
A little insult to injury there from Brandon Barretta.
Breaking the count again. He needs to get Casanova in the ring. What's he thinking here?
Brandon Barretta keeping his head on his shoulders. Breaks the count. Now he's going for the ring steps, and those are not
This is not in his repertoire, right? This is not like him.
Those are wooden ring steps, and this is foreign territory, absolutely.
Well, Barretta has hit him with just about everything else, and got to give it to Dante Casanova.
Wait a minute. I know what he's going to do.
No way.
If he does this, it might end the career of both men, let alone Dante Casanova alone.
Casanova's got to hold on. He can't throw him back. Big back elbow.
Casanova sensing the incredible danger he was just in.
You see the sweat fly. These two men are putting on a battle for the NWA Midwest Championship. Casanova up the steps, flies through the air with a crossbody.
You want to talk about digging down deep. Casanova, he does not want to relinquish that belt. He has brought it back around after taking that severe blow to the back of the head.
Casanova senses he may have a chance to defend his title. He puts Brandon Barretta back in the ring. Strictly business, works his way to his feet. Dante Casanova to the top, but Barretta with a blow.
Those right hands of Brandon Barretta are lethal. Right across the jaw every time. He follows it up with a headbutt.
And honestly, guys, Barretta's been a step ahead of Casanova since he hit his head on that power slam on the apron. Casanova still clear in the fog.
You get it done with one more suplex.
Superplex blocked. Now Casanova.
Face first.
Board buster type maneuver from the top. But can Casanova capitalize?
Can he take flight again?
He's wobbly up there.
Barretta catches him. Look at that. With cat-like agility, Brandon Barretta overhead, belly to belly.
Look at his eyes, though. Can he make the cover? He's got to get over and capitalize now.
If he slides over, he may just make the cover of his lifetime and capture the Midwest Championship.
Unbelievable.
that close, guys.
Tip of the crown to both of these guys tonight. They're doing a hell of a main event, a hell of a fight.
Look at the machine-like behavior of Brandon Barretta. Back up, back at it. Let's get after this thing. He wants
to
this
end it
win.
right now.
Yeah, that fisherman suplex, one of his trademarks. There it is. Oh, the foot's on the ropes.
Whether
That may not-
intentionally or by accident.
I was going to say, Brandon, I don't think that was intentional. It looked like the angle of the suplex may have just grazed the top rope. Either way, Dante Casanova saved his championship there.
Barretta's in shock,
See
and
the
I don't blame him.
frustration, yeah.
Just wondering what he has to do to put Casanova away. Look for him to become extreme here in these final moments.
These two have had such a battle. The crowd, not even rabidly crazy. They're engaged, just sitting on the edge of their seats, hanging on every maneuver of these two incredible athletes vying for this championship here tonight.
I don't know what he's thinking about, but I watched him pull Dante's hair up to expose the back of his neck.
Well,
Could he be going for perhaps the knee to the back of the head here?
That has ended careers in the past.
Oh, Dante Casanova on the
looks
chopping
uncomfortable.
block. No, diving headbutt. Either way, it would have been lights out for the champion. Instead, Casanova with one last push. This may be it. Hits the ropes, and he nails it. Can he turn him over? Casanova reigns.
Still, NWA Midwest Champion.
Here is your winner, and still the NWA Midwest Champion, Dante Casanova.
I'm going to stand up at this table and give both of these men a standing ovation, especially